Arkansas versus Texas A&M this Saturday in Arlington, Texas. Hopefully not for too much longer, but at least for this Saturday in Arlington, Texas. Nothing against Arlington, nothing against Texas. I just would much rather see this thing in Kyle Field or in Reynolds Razorback Stadium. That's me talking, a college football fan. This was a springboard game for Arkansas last year. You remember they won, I think, 20-10. We were at that game. It could be the same thing for Texas A&M this year. Let's remember the theme of tonight's show. What have you not shown yet that you are technically capable of? Well, A&M hasn't shown much more than a faint pulse offensively. Are they capable of more? Well, yeah, I think they're capable of more. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little teaser towards the end of this. Not only are we going to have a best bet on the side in this game, we're going to have a best bet on the total. Both of those will be on the Ramen Noodle Express this week. This is a really, really important game for us. All right, let's talk about A&M. What are they capable of that we haven't seen yet? They're dead last in the SEC in total yards. They're dead last in points per game. They're 13th or second to last in passing yards. Now, some of that's due to offensive ineptitude. Also, they just haven't run a lot of plays, which is kind of redundant because that's due to offensive ineptitude. Arkansas is bad in defending the pass this year. You would call that pass defense. They're bad. They're in like the 120s nationally, and it ultimately may cap the potential of this team. Is this A&M team built to expose that? Well, you can look at that one of two ways. You can either look at it and say, oh, Arkansas's got a weakness on the back end. Don't worry, A&M can't throw the ball. They won't take advantage of it. Or you could say, maybe that's exactly the secondary A&M needs to go against to end up getting their passing game going. That's why they play the game. So we'll wait until Saturday to find that out. All I know is I think Evan Stewart's back. Sounds like he's going to be back Saturday. The skill is there. Texas A&M's not hurting for skill. They don't have Ohio State's receiving core out there. They don't have a poverty receiving core either. They're plenty good enough, including guys in the backfield. They're plenty good enough if they're aggressive enough and if the scheme is sound. And that's its whole other conversation. Okay, Arkansas. Let me ask you a question, and then I'm going to try and give you my answer. Are they a better running team than Miami? I think the answer is yes. In fact, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. Now, the reason I bring up Miami is because Miami, even though they did not find the end zone last week, they were able to run the ball 4.9 yards per carry against Texas A&M. They couldn't capitalize, couldn't take advantage of it, but there were some yards to be had on the ground against Texas A&M. Arkansas, I think, is a better ground game, a better rushing attack. Now, does that mean they're going to go 5 yards per carry or better? Not necessarily. I'm fairly certain that A&M will key on the run. They'll also have some guys back this week that weren't on the field last week. They had a bunch of guys, in fact, both sides of the ball, that weren't on the field last week by the end that will be on the field this week. So that'll matter. Game plan will matter. To a certain extent, I think Arkansas's ground game is good enough to where they can run on you even if you expect it. But that's the first thing. What kind of success rate does Arkansas have on the ground? The second thing is I've got a feel on the total. I'll give it to you right now, actually. The total's at 48.5 right now. We're slamming the over on this. This was a low-scoring game last year. I think it's going well into the 50s this year. So one of our best bets of the week, actually, I'm giving you right now, is over 48.5. This game, on third down last year, featured teams going a combined 7 for 27, which I think will be greatly improved upon this year. Arkansas, I think, is improved in both facets of their offense. I think Texas A&M has shown enough inability to stop the run to where Arkansas will have success there. But I've told you, and I'm going to continue to tell you, I think they were like 19-49 pass to run last year in terms of ratio. I think it'll be a little more balanced this year because I think they have the weapons with which to do it. On the other side, Texas A&M 4.2 yards per play last year. I expect that to be way better. I think Texas A&M is going to have far more success through the air. Number one, because of a commitment to it, and number two, because it's there to be had against this Arkansas secondary. And they need to. You're not going to play like A&M's been playing and stand much of a chance against the rest of your schedule. And that starts Saturday, by the way. There is no way that the offensive game plans and the offensive output, shall I say, against App State and against Miami is going to get it done here. They know that. I think A&M fans know that, and there's no reason to have to settle for that. So here's the rest of A&M's schedule. That run is ridiculous. They've got 4 straight games on the road. There's a bye in between. They play in Dallas Saturday. They play in Starkville the next week. They play in Tuscaloosa the next week. They got a bye. Then they play in Columbia. There's not another game at Kyle Field until right around Halloween. How this happens, I will never know. Once I'm commissioner, I'll fix all this scheduling nonsense. But as for now, it's going to be quite a while before they find the comfort of home again. Let's take a look at what the Vegas number is. Let's take a look at what the model says, and I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. The Vegas number is A&M -2 as we sit here tonight. It's kind of fluctuated, 2, 2.5. We think the wrong team's favored. In fact, the model has Arkansas -2. We're 4 points off the Vegas total, and we cross 0. This is pretty rare, but it is the case here. There are no massive edges. There are no massive team edges. Maybe position by position you find stuff, but there are no massive team edges here. I expect an extremely competitive game. I'm going to side with the model there because I think Arkansas is the better team. We've got them power rated more high. It would make no sense for me to show you the JP poll and then a neutral field game pick the lower rated team. So I'm taking Arkansas to win the game, and I'm taking Arkansas plus the points. It is a best bet for us. So not only is Arkansas +2 on the Ramen Noodle Express, over 48.5 is on the Ramen Noodle Express. Now, if it goes down this way, it will create a pretty interesting dynamic. Because like I said, I don't think this is some blowout either way. I expect a very, very close game. But it doesn't matter because a win will be a win, a loss will be a loss, and you will have, if A&M were to fall, you would have A&M with 2 losses already upon entering conference play. This will be their first conference game of the year. It's hard to know what the conversation would be like. I can pretty well guess what the conversation would be like. But around Arkansas, if they win the game, you know they're in the same position they were in last year. The difference is instead of having a road trip to Georgia coming up in the near future, they'll have Bama at home. And you know what? I mean, that place is going to be on fire either way. If they win against A&M, then they got Bama coming in there, and it'll be one of the biggest games in Reynolds Razorback Stadium history. If they lose against A&M Saturday, they'll be in wounded animal mode, and Bama will be coming in there. Either way, place will be on fire. But that's for 2 weeks from now. As for this game, taking Arkansas close and taking the over and feel pretty good about it. Hey, we're undefeated. For as cold as the Ramen Noodle Express has been so far this year, cold noodles, terrible for you. The totals have been spectacular. We're undefeated betting totals. And that would be 1-0, by the way. Guys, thanks for watching Late Kick. Make sure to leave a comment. I love interacting with you. But most of all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep all of this free.